Hello, people. How's it going? Well, hopefully I shouldn't have too many computer glitches. If I do, God, I gotta get a haircut. I'm getting a haircut on Monday, I promise. Good grief, hair's sticking all over the right direction. Anyway, why do liberal Jews hate being Jewish so much? What is it about their psychology, their past, their beliefs, their history, which they don't cling to in the first place? Most liberal Jews I've noticed are very political. That is their theology. That is their philosophy. That is how they view the world. That is how they view life. Politics is their God and their religion. I can tell you one reason why liberal Jews cannot stand being Jewish, who hate being Jewish. That. That had a huge impact on the Jewish psyche. The Holocaust had a huge impact on people, Jews worldwide. 6 million Jews were exterminated. You don't think that's going to have an impact on people and their faith and their belief and their hope and everything else they believe as Jews? This destroyed a lot of Jews. The Holocaust destroyed a lot of people and turned them into liberal Jews who hate being Jewish because they don't want to have to deal with it. I think a lot of the reasons they're liberal Jews, they rejected their history. Liberal Jews don't like their history. They cannot stand the fact that Israel exists because in their minds, Israel represents the past. It represents a heritage they've given up on, a history they've given up on, a language they've given up on. Everything that makes Jews Jews, they've given up on. They do not want to deal with it. They don't care. Because they don't have a connection to their history. They don't have a connection to the literature, to the Bible, to understanding Judaism. It's a great book, by the way. But they're afraid of this concept. They're afraid of being Jewish. They're afraid of being Jewish because it means that they are a certain type of people. They are a certain people. They're a certain history. They have a certain cultural background. They are connected in a certain way. And do not want to be reminded of anything that reminds them of what they are. They can try to hide it all they want, but deep down inside, I'm pretty sure that a lot of them realize what they're doing and why. Most liberal Jews are the way they are because they want to get away as far away from their history as they can get, as far away from their culture they can get, as far away from their belief in God as they want to get. They want to be atheists. They want to escape the God who, I guarantee you, if they were honest, were saying, what? What happened? Where were you? I guarantee you. My grandmother was like that. She was an angry, bitter woman. I know she was liberal, but she was not a pleasant person. This destroyed her. It destroyed her ability to be a decent human being, which is unfortunate because I probably could have learned a lot from her because she lived during that time. She wasn't there, but she was in New York, but she was alive. I believe she was a kid at that time. She could have told me things. But angry people don't tell you things. Bitter people don't tell you things. People who reject their culture and their history and their connections to the past and to a certain land, they don't teach you anything. They can't. They don't know how. Because they lived and died at this point. I'm going to keep showing this book for a reason. Because this is why liberal Jews exist. Because this killed a lot of them. Not physically, it killed their souls. It killed their faith. It killed their belief. It killed everything that connected them to this. I have other books to show you. I mean, these books are good. You want to know what a Jew is? Read the books I'm going to show you. It seems like I'm being jerky. That's the reason why. But Bible history is something they will never study. They will never study Bible history or the literature or anything else. They don't want to be Jewish. And they're so busy. Most Jews, liberal Jews are just not capable of seeing just how angry and bitter they are to realize that that's the real problem. Not that they're Jewish, not because Israel exists, and not because of the Palestinian nonsense. Because I hate telling you this, Palestine does not exist and never did. Okay? It's another good book, by the way. But once the Holocaust happened, it killed the Jewish soul. And I'm going to keep repeating that for a reason. People don't understand why liberal Jews are the way they are, and that's why. It killed something inside of them. It killed their ability to have faith and to hope and to just believe that, yes, there has got to be a plan behind all this. It is horrific what happened, but there's got to be a reason. But they've given up on that reason. They don't want to know. They don't want to acknowledge that they're part of that, part of history, which is understandable up to a point. But at the same time, it's like they seem they all seem to be unhappy. They all seem to be angry. They all seem to be bitter. They all can't stand anyone who defends Israel. They don't want Israel to be there. They want to blame Israel for this, that, and the other. And they do it while basically saying we do not want to know why. They don't want to know the root causes of why this conflict is happening. They just want to blame Israel and move on. Jewish hatred isn't just in the Gentile world. It is in the Jewish world. It's terrible how much it's destroying the Jewish soul and the Jewish heart and the Jewish mind and the Jewish belief that Israel is home. Israel is where Jews belong. It is home. It is where we long to be. Conservative Jews want to be there. Orthodox Jews want to be there. Not in the beginning, though. What's funny about the Hasidic Jews, though, I should say, is that they actually didn't want Israel to be founded in 1948. They had a problem with it being founded in 1948. And the reason they had a problem is in their minds, only the Messiah can bring Israel back from the dead. Well, but once it happened, I said, well, can't do anything about it now. There's an Israel. I guess we're just going to have to accept that fact. But in the beginning, the Hasidic rabbis, the Hasidic Jews did not want Israel to be reborn in 1948 because they really did believe that only the Messiah can bring Israel back. But once Israel showed up, they said, okay, because they're all there. They're everywhere. But, I'm asked why liberal Jews exist. Because they hate their history. They hate their culture. They hate their history. They hate themselves for being Jewish. They hate they hate the history of the Jewish people because the Jewish people in a lot of ways just were so persecuted and like just sheep, and they couldn't think, and they don't like it. They don't like Jewish history. Well, neither do I, but the problem is, what were we going to do? We didn't have a country of our own yet. We did what we could where we were. We assimilated. Problem is with liberal Jews, they assimilated so far, in the other direction that they have no clue how to get back to being Jews again. I mean, when I say that, I mean Jews who believe in the Torah, who believe in the prophets, who believe the Messiah is coming again. Yes, you heard me. Who believe that Israel has a right to exist, has a right to defend itself. They don't. I mean, it's sad. It's sad that we have so many Jews actually supporting what Hamas is doing and what all these protests are saying. It's like, do you realize eventually they're going to turn on you? They don't care if you're a liberal Jew. You're a Jew. That's all they're going to see, and that's all they're going to care about. These people who support these groups that are calling for the destruction of Israel and from the river to the sea don't seem to realize the people they're supporting eventually are going to turn on them. Eventually. That's how it works. That's how mobs work. But as I keep saying, I'm going to keep saying it. That is why there are liberal Jews. That is probably the number one core reason why there are liberal Jews, because of the Holocaust, because of places like Auschwitz and Dachau and Treblinka and Bergen-Belsen, and all the other ones all the other camps I can think of. It's sad. It's unfortunate, but it is true. Most Jews who hate being Jewish, if they go back far enough, you will find where they died is at a camp. Is there the 1930s and the 40s and the camps, and then the gas chambers, and the firing squads, and the executions, and the tortures, and everything else. That is where the Jewish soul went to die. Not all of them, because a lot of them did manage to rise up and stay alive and keep hope alive and everything else, because they had something they believed in. They kept, and it's got to be a reason why this is happening. I mean, I've seen an angry, bitter, hateful Jew, believe me, and it wasn't fun, and it wasn't pleasant, and she was impossible for me to be around because she didn't want me around. Because you see, when I found out I was Jewish, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. I loved it. I liked it. I embraced it. I mean, I have a flag over there, and I have one there, of course. I have an American flag over there. I know people don't think I have an American flag in this room, but I do. I just don't have one for right here, right now. I'm going to get one. But when I discovered I was Jewish, it may have been the most wonderful moment of my life when I realized, hey, wait, I'm Jewish. That's cool. Liberal Jews hate their history, hate their culture, hate their heritage, hate the fact that they know people are looking at them as Jews and nothing more, and they know it. That's how people are looking at them. I like being Jewish. I love it. I like being a Jewish Christian. I like being Jewish. I have a prayer shawl. I have my yarmulkes. I have 2 menorahs. Well, actually, one's a menorah and one's the menorah you can find in the temple. I mean, I used to have a calendar of Israel, but when I discovered I was Jewish, I liked it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I could not get enough of it. I don't hate being Jewish. I love being Jewish. I love wearing my shirt that says "It's now time that season" to remind people I'm Jewish. Or my Israeli flag shirt, t-shirt. I like wearing them. I like letting people know who I am and what I am. Liberal Jews live in fear that them being Jewish is going to matter to somebody else. So they have to pretend as much as they can that they're not Jewish. They're not really Jewish. They don't have any say in the matter. Ethnically, I may be a Jew, but I'm not really Jewish. I'm a good liberal. I'm assimilated to Gentiles. And it's like, yeah, but you've lost pretty much your soul. You've lost pretty much what made you who you were and why you were and your history. And I mean, see, even I don't quite understand liberal Jews, because what they're literally doing in my mind is throwing away thousands of years of history, of faith and belief and endurance and everything else the Jew has had to endure, even ever since the temple was destroyed by the Romans, even when the temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. And no, I don't think the Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia. I'm not an ancient alienist. I'm pretty sure it disappeared long before them. I really need to clean that cup. That's disgusting. But anyway, as I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying it, that is why they're liberal Jews. What happened here and all those other camps is why it happened. This is why. This is why. That killed everything in a Jew that was important to those Jews. Yeah, it's unfathomable what they went through, what horror of the Holocaust and everything else. But it killed them. It killed a lot of Jews, not just physically, but spiritually. Liberal Jews don't have a religion. They've replaced it with politics. But anyway, we're almost at 15 minutes, so I'm gonna. But my point is, The reason liberal Jews hate themselves and each other in a sense is they've replaced everything that makes Jews Jews with politics, with anything other than who and what they are culturally, historically, ethnically, biblically. They've given it all up, which is why they're miserable, which is why they're unhappy, which is why they are the way they are, because they've replaced it with something that can't fulfill anything. There's nothing in it. It's empty calories. But anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe, please. Thank you. Behave yourselves, people, because you know I'm not going to. I never do. Later.